Alright, we are going to talk about subtracting three-digit numbers. I have these numbers here horizontally, side to side, and the first thing I'll need to do is transfer them over to being vertical, up and down. I need to make sure my larger number's on top, and I also need to make sure that my place values are lined up. So ones with ones, tens with tens. If I lined this up like this, it would be incorrect because I have tens with ones and hundreds with tens. So that will not work. So whenever I subtract, I always start in the ones place. And I always ask myself the question, can I do it? And I'm asking if I can subtract. So 5 minus 7, can I do that? No, I can't. I cannot take 7 away from 5. If I had 5 cookies, I could not give somebody else 7 cookies. If you can't do it, you need to borrow. You always go right to your next door neighbor to borrow. So the 5 is going to go over to the 8. And they take one package. They'll take one package of cookies, so that 8 will become a 7. Now inside that package of cookies is 10 cookies. So we will add 10 cookies onto the 5. And now we're ready to subtract in this column. Now that borrowing works because the tens place is 10 times bigger than the ones place. So every package from the tens place will equal 10 ones. So 15 minus 7 is 8. Now I go to my next column and I ask myself the question, same exact question. 7 minus 4, can I do it? Yes, I can now. If I have 7 cookies, I can give away 4. 7 minus 4 is 3, and I have 7 minus nothing over here in this next column, so I most certainly can do that as well. 7. Now to check your subtracting, you can always add up. 8 plus 7 equals 15. 3 plus 4 equals 7. 7 plus nothing equals 7. Okay, that's just to make sure that I subtracted correctly there. Alright, on to the next one. 324 minus 272. As always, I'm going to start off in the ones place, and I always ask myself the question, can I do it? 4 minus 2, I can do that. If I have 4 cookies, I can give away 2. So if I can do it, I do it. 4 minus 2 is 2. Now I go on to the next column. 2 minus 7, I ask myself that question again. Can I do it? No, I can't. If I have 2 cookies, I can't give away 7, so I need to borrow. So I go over to my neighbor, take one package. 3 becomes a 2. Inside that package is 10 cookies, because the hundreds place is 10 times bigger than the tens place. So I add 10 cookies on to the tens place. Now I'm able to subtract here. 12 minus 7 is 5. And I go on to my last column. 2 minus 2, I can do that. If I have 2 cookies, I can give 2 cookies away. 2 minus 2 is 0. So my answer is 52. And I can add up to check it out. 2 plus 2 is 4. 5 plus 7 is 12. 0 plus 2 is 2. And on to my last one here. 565 minus 387. Now with this one, there's 2 columns that we can't do. I can't do this column, and I can't do this column. I'm not going to worry about this column until I get there. So always do one column at a time. Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't worry about a column until you get to it. So I start off here, 5 minus 7. I ask myself the question, can I do it? And I can't. If I have 5 cookies, I can't give away 7. So I go to my neighbor and I borrow. The 6 becomes a 5. And because I'm taking one package, and then there's 10 cookies in that one package, so the 5 becomes a 15. Now I can do this column. Now notice, I still can't do the 5 minus 8, but I'm not worried about it at this point. I take care of one column at a time. 15 minus 7 is 8. Then now I move over to this column. Now I ask myself the question, can I do it? 5 minus 8, I can't do it. So I need to go to my neighbor and borrow one package. that's worth 10 cookies. Now the easiest way to add these 10 cookies onto this 5 that's already there is just put a 1. So now I have 15 cookies in this middle column. 15 minus 8 I can now do. 15 minus 8 is 7. 4 minus 3 is 1. And if I wanted to, I could add up to check my subtracting. 8 plus 7 is 15. 7 plus 8 is 15. 1 plus 3 is 4. So that checks my adding. So remember, always start off in the ones column. Always, always ask yourself the question, can I do it? If you can, do it. If you can't, go to your neighbor and borrow. And only worry about one column at a time.